Good morning, everybody. It is, as I say in the description, 22. Now it dropped to 21 degrees here in the Gettysburg area. We're in Fairfield right now. Might actually get a little interruption. This is why I normally don't start the videos this early, because around the corner I often lose service for 100 yards or so. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. And I hope you're not freezing. It is freezing out, but, you know, could be worse. We're coming up to this spot where... There we go. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, John. Good morning, Jeff. Blue skies indeed. Indeed, we've got blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. I am glued to YouTube watching footage and reports coming out of California. It is so depressing on 100 million levels. Most of which is all those people that lost their homes and their lives. And then, then you'd start thinking like, oh my God, all those historic places are just gone. It's very sad, very sad. So if you're watching from California, I hope you're okay. And good luck. Good luck with whatever's coming. Francis stayed home, called out. Very good, very good. Good for you. Morning, Michael. Chantel says good morning. Good morning, Chantel. Mac and Sleaze, good morning. I like that name. Andy, good morning to you. So I'm heading into the studio. We're recording a show about the mighty Napoleon Cannon with Ralph Siegel, First Lieutenants. Actually, all this month I'm letting all the levels of Patreon see the recording sessions, because I'm taking another month to build up a cushion of shows and not releasing other shows. We ran out we were down to I think 4 when December came, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hold on to these. But then I thought more and I go, I should probably have at least 8 in the can, which I think I'm getting near, between Patreon. So this is an Ask a Guide, so it's not a Patreon show, so it won't be there. But we have a bunch of recordings scheduled in the next couple weeks, which will get us back on track and whatnot. So every level gets to see what the first lieutenants always see. Now, first lieutenants don't go, oh well, I'm just going to lower my, because it's not 100% all of the shows that we're going to be doing. Some things will remain just for the first lieutenants for that reason. Top 20 Louisiana Law says I'm having a glass of Louisiana owl milk. Now, what is, I am unfamiliar with that. Is that slang for something, or obviously it's not owl milk, but what is that? Do you just like take an owl and throw it in a blender and then just drink, or like not enough? Good night. It says good night from India. Good night. We got a lot of new listeners. First of all, welcome. If you're new to the channel, we got 4,500 in like a week, which is great. And a lot of them, I was going through, a lot of them are from India, I think some in the Philippines, so all over the place. And that's nice. Many from the UK, in Australia. I had dinner with Jonathan Lucci the other night, and he asked me to thank our Australian listeners because the sale of his book is very high in Australia, which is pretty cool. I thought Grant was the only one from Australia who listened. So either that or Grant is the only one in Australia who listens, but he just bought a shit ton of books that he's now reselling at exorbitant rates on the black market. I don't know if the Australian black market for Civil War novels is really that lucrative, but maybe it is. But either way, Jonathan wishes to thank our Australian friends for their support on his book. Let's see. SB says, frozen here in Illinois, but mercifully fire-free. Yes, amen to that. Ty says, watched a video where a family lost the entire house, but the wood mailbox 20 feet in front wasn't even harmed at all. The paint didn't even bubble. That's what's so crazy about some of the videos I've been seeing is you've got an entire block just leveled and one house in the middle of it all still stands. It's it's fascinating. It's fascinating. And apparently they're not out of the woods yet. The winds are about to pick up again. All the fires aren't out. Yeah, so I mean, it's just so sad. And it's you always hear people fantasize about California breaking off and floating off into the ocean. Now, clearly they don't understand how the earth works, but this I don't know how you can look at this and still think stuff like that. Like these are people. They're not all Hollywood whack jobs. They're real people out there too, and it's their homes. And even the Hollywood whack jobs deserve a home. So it's a very sad thing to watch. And like I said on that video, I don't know if you watched it, but we have a lot of listeners who are in California, and I'm in touch with some of them. By the way, for those of you who care, our friend Bruce Boxleitner is okay, and Patrick Gorman is okay. I'm waiting to hear back from Joseph Fuquay. I hope he's okay. He takes a while to get back to me sometimes, so this is not abnormal. And then a bunch of our listeners who I know how to contact, I've contacted, and they're all right. So we don't have any tragic news to report from our little community, and I hope we never do on this matter. So there we go. Fraser says, good morning. Good morning, Fraser. Michael says, wow, that's amazing. Ron says, morning, Matt. Just up my Patreon to first. Okay, so I think I sent you a message yesterday, Ron, and I said thank you for joining, because it doesn't tell me. It's weird. Like sometimes it'll say someone went from second lieutenant to first lieutenant, and then other times it'll just say like Ron Moore joined as a first lieutenant, and I could have sworn you already were, and that's why I sent you a message and I said thank you for joining. If just so that we know what works. How'd you find us, and what made you decide to become a patron? And then I said, P.S. if this is the Ron Moore that was already a member, I'm assuming then that you just renewed your annual membership, and thank you for that too. So thank you for that, Ron. And for those of you who are interested in supporting, independent history content creators that are new to the channel, we do have a Patreon account. It's patreon.com/addressing Gettysburg. You can go over there. You can be an annual member. You can gift it to people. There's a whole bunch of things you could do. So I would appreciate your support, because gas ain't cheap. Kind of stops with mailing me like a package of Depends. By the way, let's beep and say hi to Debbie and Six Questions Lens at their place of work. Market. Yeah, no, I absolutely could. Don Grant. SP says, really glad you're separating the serious history shows from the fun but frivolous ones. That clarifies your brand. Thank you. Thank you very much. There's nothing wrong with the serious shows, but you're not going to reach more people that way, I don't believe. A little blur there, I don't know. That's the sun's fault. Let me clean my windshield. Oh boy, that just made it worse. Okay, let's see if that helps. Not really. Damn you, ice. And it's getting a little better. Let's see if I can. We will clear up in 1 second here. Let me. Oh, well. It'll figure itself out. Yeah, let me do that. No, that didn't do it either. We'll get there. Dogface says, morning, Matt and everyone. Good morning. How are you? Ty says, everything has to be politicized anymore. Everything, sorry. We have politicians blaming the government for not making it rain. To put out the fires. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely heads that should roll for that whole thing, because it's not like, what's predictable is preventable, and this was predicted for decades. So there's that. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I don't think that while it's still going on, it's time to argue over this stuff. And this I can't stand is when, and we do this all the time, like this, every time there's something bad happen, we immediately want to blame somebody, and there's a time for that, and there is a need for that. But I mean, it's still happening. I think the last number I saw, and this might be updated, is that I think 15% of the fires are contained. That's terrible. So this is still happening, and you don't need to be worrying about who to blame. But this is what we do. So, Andy says, Matt, I'm giving you as much support as I can. Christmas with a toddler and teenager costs more than $2,000. Yeah, I know. I think we had a housewarming party, and I think we spent about $1,000 on food and having them come over. I said, but from now on, it's potluck. That's this. The teenager, make him work and buy his own presents. And then that way you can do something important to society. See, let's not be like, let's think about society here. And learning history is more important to society than your kid getting an electric guitar. So if he wants it, he can work for it. Or she, I don't even know. What do you have? But that would be my suggestion, and I think your financial advisor would agree. Your money is better placed here. The more you know. Ren L said it's a red-blue state inequality. Well, that's life too, Stella Beard says, my daughter and her boyfriend live in San Diego, which is of course German for they are doing fine, but they are still very heartbroken, of course. They have been doing all they can to put families up in their home. That is very nice of them. I hear San Diego is beautiful. I had a couple friends who went out there to visit friends and then came back to New Jersey and said, I'm packing my bags and going to California. And they have yet to come back. They say it's beautiful, which is why they stay, even though they hate everything else about it. So that's the power of beauty, right? Really, it is. Let's think about that for a second. Beauty makes us do very stupid things, often things that are against our own interest, right? They always complain, oh, you can't do anything in California. Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, the taxes. Well, why don't you leave? Oh my God, it's just so beautiful. I live a block and a half from the beach. I can walk down there. It's 75 degrees in the summer. I mean, in the winter. And, you know, it's just so great. Okay, well then shut your mouth. But, and then think of it this way. A guy who gets a beautiful woman who's clearly out of his league. He does anything for her. She mistreats him all the time. People say, why do you put up with this? She's sleeping with every man. And he's like, oh, but look at her. She's so beautiful. Beauty is intoxicating, and it makes us put our guard down. Terrible, terrible thing. Jeffrey says, morning, Matt. It's a beautiful day. It looks like one. Yeah, it's 22 degrees, so we're not, you know, it's better than rain and snow. Fraser says, glad to hear they're okay, Estella, but sad this is happening in California. It really is. It really is. I saw an interview with Dennis Quaid. He was like loading his car with his daughter's clothes and stuff because she's away at college, and he stopped and talked to the reporter, and he had a good attitude about it. There's, you know, a lot of these people that I'm seeing. I saw James Woods on CNN, and he was talking about it, and I mean, you know, he lost his house, and it's just, let's do this. Let's fuck with this guy now. Okay, you're passing in a double. I'm already going 20 over the speed limit. Jesus. Anyway, I'm not. I'm going 10. So what was I saying? Yeah. So like they're very calm about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, right, because they're rich. So it's like, okay. Bebish Timothy says that California fire must be a Hollywood upcoming site. Yeah, I know. Well, that's what it looks like. It looks like a disaster film. And you know they will make a film out of it because it's Hollywood, right? So it should be interesting. Nate. Oh, Nate, get it. I got it. That's clever. Nate, are the winds still bad? From what I hear, the last I heard, and I don't remember when this was from, I watched it this morning, could be from last night, there was a lull, but they're predicted to whip up again. So we'll see. I don't know what it is right now. Ty says, damn, brother, you dropped $1,000 on a party. I know the next one I'm crashing. Yeah. Well, but that's the sad part about it is it wasn't worth $1,000. Like, it was just regular food and just a couple of bottles of liquor and, you know, just small things. But everything's so damn expensive now. Like, you know, it adds up. And we had 40 people, and we were, you know, cooking for them. So, okay, maybe it's not regular stuff, but it was regular stuff. It's just not the regular amounts of stuff. That's what I'm saying. All right, Andy, and it was probably closer to 800, I'm rounding up. I like to round up. Andy says, well, I only have girls, so that's not going to change. Okay. I got both of them involved at the Curtin Mansion and Eagle Ironworks. By the way, your letter is on my kitchen counter, and I started writing a reply to it, and then the dog had to go out, and then I got distracted by a shiny ball that bounced across the street, and then I got sidetracked with, you know, so I haven't finished it yet, and that was 4 weeks ago. So I'll get to it. Somebody once said to me that with people with ADD, there's 2 times, now and not now. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Yes, that's exactly right. And that's when I realized I have ADD. I mean, there's other things pointing towards it, but this pretty much was it. Although, thank God, they didn't really know about it when I was a kid, because they would have just drugged me and I'd be a bigger mess. Where am I here? I'm dragging them both into history, whether they want it or not. Good. That's what you got to do, you know? You got to drag. You got to drag. Ty says, heard the same. There were like 4 days a year under 50 degrees and like 5 over 90, no extremes. Yeah, that sounds nice about San Diego. Shubham says, where are you going? I am going, I am going ultimately to my studio to record a show, but I always, again, the ADD at work, I'm always taking the long way, and I could have been there by now, but I love going around the battlefield of Gettysburg. That's where we are now. We're on West Confederate Avenue. As you can see, there's a line of cannon on the left side of the road, and monuments and other things. Where is Gettysburg? Are you heading to work? Yes, I'm heading to work. Gettysburg is in Pennsylvania in the United States. Test the spirits if they are of ya. Hi, how are you? Andy says, it's okay, I understand how busy you are, and I'm also cursed with the ADHD. So they caught me they caught me as a kid. No, they did not catch me. Back in my day, I was just called lazy. So imagine when your teachers and your parents tell you that over and over again, that you're just too lazy. And you're like, no, I'm not. I'm willing to work. This is boring. I'd rather do something else. So that does a lot for your self-esteem as you grow up, for sure. If those are Napoleons, this is called foreshadowing. There you go, Andy. Very good. Very good. We did pass Napoleons. Matt drives like super tramps. Takes a long way home. That's well, let's go to our daily view of, well, it's not daily, but our today's view of Pickett's charge. Ooh, isn't that lovely? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do an abbreviated long way because I need to get there before Ralph gets there, so I can start setting stuff up. When Ralph comes in, it's a tornado, and I can't, again with the ADD, I can't focus on getting all the stuff ready because we're talking, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I like talking, and also you have to do that to warm up before getting into the show. But you know, my helpers aren't available this time of day today, so I have to go solo. Big Shot Blake from Littlestown. Hello, sir. How are you? Hi, Naper. Andy says, dang it, Ty, I almost have forgotten that song. Yeah, that's going to be through my head all day today, too. It is. One could say it's like canister fire with Ralph. It is. It is. Very scattered. That ain't good says, I wish I could touch the snow. Let me tell you. I think that's the first thing you'll find. It'll then be wet and cold. Good morning, Tim. Tim Matthews celebrating a birthday this week. I was honored to be invited to his big birthday bash on Saturday, so we're looking forward to that. SP says, whew, my dog just farted. Thank you for sharing that with us, SP. Thank you for sharing that. That is the worst. And they just sit there, you know, unwitting. They don't try to hide it. They don't apologize. They just look at you like, what? What are you looking at? And then that rancid smell just wafts up to your nose like an evil cloud of hell. Ty says, don't blame it on the dog. That's funny. All right, let's see. We'll do this. We're gonna do a truncated version today. So we're gonna go up there. Now we're on the Emmitsburg Road. Here's your Sherfy Farm buildings on the left. Oh, sorry guys, I was not paying attention. That's where I wanted to go, and I missed it. So there. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Which is probably better because now I'll have time to grab a coffee at Bantam Roasters, the finest coffee establishment in Gettysburg. They have the finest coffee brand you've ever heard of, Little Ground Top. It is delicious. You can taste wildflowers, toasted sugar, hints of cacao. You can taste that. I taste coffee. Hey man, it's me, David Draven, lead singer of Disturbed. How are you? Well, hello. How are you? This is the real David, according to your name. Do real lead singers of bands that are famous really do that? They introduce themselves that way? Well, if it is you, it is really you, you say, huh? Okay. All right. Forgive my doubtfulness. My middle name is Thomas, after all. Of course they do. Unfortunately, I have yet to taste the best Maine has to offer. I foolishly got 8 pounds of whole bean for free just before discovering Little Ground Top. Well, I'm sure someone would love to buy that 8 pounds off your hands so that you can get yourself some Little Ground Top instead. Andy, goodbye, stranger. It's been nice. Actually might work for those situations. Oh man, we're gonna have the whole Supertramp catalog in my head today. All right, I'm just gonna park over here. And we're gonna go in and get a coffee. So that's what I'm gonna do, folks. Then I'm gonna record. Patrons, you'll see the recording come up soon. I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna open the phone lines for you to call in, so please take advantage of that and call in. Otherwise, you guys all have a great day. David, it was great to meet you. It's been an honor. And you have yourselves a Merry Little Christmas.